in recent years, there has been a shortage of truck drivers, and I think in recent years it has just been growing and growing and growing. Now, I think there's a plethora of reasons that contribute to the shortage of truck drivers, and really just the lack of want to in the trucking field. I think one of the main reasons is really the age um, difference in the aging of the main, I guess, generation of truck drivers. Most truck drivers that I know of, they range for, they're not really young. I think for me, from my personal experience and what I know, truck drivers are mainly, middle aged to, older people. So it'd be, I say, the youngest I know is probably mid 30s, I think, and the oldest is probably my uncle. He's mid to late 50s. So mid 30s to mid 50s is the age range that I'm aware of, and so when you think of that, you can it makes sense why there is a shortage of truck drivers. Um, People in retirement, or you know could be a bunch of reasons. Also, I think COVID-19 had a big impact in the shortage, um, along with many other shortages. With COVID, you had truck drivers rely on being outside and having to be have that person contact, and they really live in the real world. So whenever COVID-19 happened and the whole world just went on lockdown, no one's outside, no one's able to you know be in close contact with each other. So that kind of messed everything up. Most of everything went digital, and most of everything went non contact, and so when you take that aspect out of the equation, truck drivers kind of are sitting on the island by themselves, because that's what they rely on. If they're not able to, you know, get out and go into the world, and they're stuck at home, they're not able to make money, and that leads to them, finding other jobs elsewhere, and you know, just not being able to do the job. And so, I think that's another major reason. Um, Another thing is, I think starting off, truck drivers don't really make that much. I feel like the pay is kind of low starting off, just depending on your qualifications and you know the area you're in. So low pay, and just also working conditions. I know truck drivers, I don't have the best working conditions. But I think that's really just a part of the truck driver lifestyle. That's part of living as a truck driver. You might have to spend a night in your truck. You might have to go days without taking a shower, and so on and so forth. And so when you think about that, and also like the age range of truck drivers today, not a lot of young people want to risk their hygiene and their health to be out on the road, especially if the pay isn't as well as a desk job or a virtual job or any other job. I know a lot of people wouldn't want to, especially uh, the time truck drivers have to take away from their family and other activities. A lot of people wouldn't want to risk that, and put that in jeopardy. And a lot of people just don't think the trade-off is beneficial to their life and themselves. I think this also leads to a high turnover rate. So I think the trucking industry, trucking industry tends to have a high turnover rate. Drivers often leave for better paying jobs, or those with better conditions. So it kind of makes keeping retaining skilled workers, skilled drivers harder, just because the pay might not be as great starting off, and the conditions aren't as good. So it's that. And also another thing is, I think it might. I don't think it's the biggest thing, but it is a pretty substantial reason is the training and licensing costs. Getting a commercial license can be expensive, and while some companies provide training, many new drivers are deterred by the upfront cost or the time required to gain experience. A lot of people don't want to really wait to make money. A lot of people want, fast money. They want a job they can start now and start making money now. And so they don't want to go through, the training process and trying to get your license and any other, trying to get a truck and any other, outside costs that might go into, you know, becoming a truck driver. Like I said, it's a lot of people don't think the trade offs are beneficial.